Alright, what is up everybody? In this video we're checking out every new Valentine's 2026 unit in ALS. Thank you to Texio and Jxrk for helping me showcase everyone from this update. I'm going to be very tired in this showcase, sorry, this has been a long grind. Okay, this update was evil. But first up, a Lonely Child, Witch and Overlord double trade. We have Mystical on them as well. I don't know who this is, but thank you Texio for showcasing this one. Apparently a really expensive one, total cost of 9 million, but on placement, passive Black Blood. Attacks will resonate with enemies forever, dealing 5% damage every 1 second. Okay, so permanent damage over time. And upon attacking an enemy with an active stack, increase the damage by 5% with a cap of 25%. Shred and Expose, and then we also have Hemorrhage, Dismantled, and Pressure. So permanent damage over time type of thing. Not really much, cap of 25% damage, I mean, when it's like a standard burn type of thing, damage over time. UPG is jump, yeah, upgrade is jump, yeah. Now we have new showcases this time around, I think. Some Swamp members, some Discord members who are willing to help me, so appreciate it, but I think it is their first time showcasing both of them. But here we go. Full AoE on upgrade 7. Crown of Thorns, passive on upgrade 7 as well. This unit's attack slow enemies by 5% each hit with a cap of 45%. Every stack applied increased damage taken by 5% and Black Flame scaling off damage times stacks. So, stacking slow, pretty good, and then Black Flame on top of that. Max upgrade doing 25.4 bill or 4.04 seconds. I believe we have no skill tree on anybody in this video, by the way. Rupture, Pressure, and Hemorrhage. So pretty strong. Damage over time, support with Shred and Expose and Slow. For 9 million to max out. Is it worth it? Not really. Alright, next up we have the High School DxD people, Rias and Issei. Total cost to max out of 14 million. This is the 14 million one. So thank you Jxrk for showcasing this one. Wish and Glorious here, no skill tree, on placement for 4.5k. Circle AoE 84 mil, we have quite a bit to read here with 3 different passives and then one more, looks like on upgrade 8. So, Charming Demonic Power. Upon entering this unit's range, enemies are inflicted with negation for 25 seconds. Okay, just canceling elemental stuff. Suck You Kiss. Okay, after being in range for 45 seconds consecutively, allied units will be kissed by a pure-blooded devil, granting the following. 7.5% SPA buff, 20% damage buff, cap of 45% and 120% respectively, and follow up on each attack pure-blooded devil does gain 1 random status effect, cap of 2. So, follow up attack on every attack, okay, with a random status effect as well. Body Dress Break. Upon first entering this unit's range, enemies will be given the Dress tag. Okay, what? The Dress tag. Am I seeing that? Whenever they enter? I am, okay. And then when they first enter 50% of the range, it is going to be removed and deal 5.5 times their damage. So, kind of like a burst of damage there. Not too crazy, but I don't know, consistently doing little bursts of damage when they get close enough to her. Burning Punch on upgrade 5, still Circle AoE. A very expensive unit, I mean we're going to max it out for 14 million, so it better be good, right? Upgrade 8, we get Sunburn, Scorched, Rupture, and a new passive called Booster Gear Overdrive, mentioning that we get all of those. Okay. Whenever an enemy is inflicted with 3 or more dots, this unit will deal an additional damage. Will deal additional damage of damage times 15 dots applied to them. Damage times 15 times dots applied. Okay, so pretty much damage times 45 if you have 3 different dots on them. So pretty good. An additional burst of damage again. But 7.89 billion over 2.78. We have Sunburn, Scorch, and Rupture doing undisclosed amounts. I don't know. For 14 million. I don't really know. It looks like it's both one unit, right? They're 2 in 1, so there's no other unit to click on. There's nothing I'm missing, I don't think. They just kind of are underwhelming for that price tag. Alright, moving on, we have the Zombie Cruel, and I can kind of showcase all my units now. I farmed for all of these, so thank you Jxrk and Texio for showcasing the first 2, but man, this grind was evil. This is what I grinded for myself, so okay. The Zombie Cruel, I'm kind of getting flashbang, I'm just going to turn that off for now, because, oh man. But on placement for 1.2k, doing 119 mil or 6.43, full AoE, with the slow effect. Zombies passive at upgrade 4 and upgrade 7. They will spawn in Toshio and Bambi summon to aid in battle. These summons have the same stats as the unit. Okay, so triple their damage pretty much. 3 times their damage is the total stat value, once you get them to these certain upgrade thresholds. And then Harmless LARP. Whenever an allied unit within this unit's range attacks, there is a 25% chance that that unit will also be attacked. Wait, what? Okay. So this unit will be attacked while any other unit is attacking. All enemies in range will be inflicted with bleed and poison. Scaled off this unit's damage. For every enemy inflicted with bleed and poison from this passive, this unit gains 1 stack of Dead Boys Dancing Club. Okay, so we're building up stacks of something, and we apply bleed and poison. Alright. Damage over time, I don't know why I'm jumping, I'm the one upgrading now, sorry. Sadistic Urges, upgrade 4. We have a new passive, every 10 to 30 seconds attack Bambi Summon, okay? Here's Bambi Summon, by the way. With her own passives as well, there's a lot to read on this one, alright. When she attacks Bambi, when he attacks Bambi, doing 145% of combined damage with this unit and Bambi Summon to all enemies in range. Mutilate and Detonation are also applied, so show a little burst of damage, mini nuke type of thing. Bambi, right now with Giselle at upgrade 4, we have Delayed Explosion. All this unit's attacks deal a bonus 45% damage after 5 seconds of the initial attack, okay? 1 minute till midnight. Every minute this unit will deal 50 times damage to all enemies, so a nuke above Bambi's head, we have a countdown of 20, because I'm in 3x speed. Also applies Detonation scaled off that damage, so Detonation on the unit as well. Should get a Texio summon, upgrade 7, right here, yep. We have Freeze on him, 4.23 bill right now. Frozen over, every attack enemies not inflicted with Freeze will be slowed by 65% for the duration of Freeze, okay, so if they're not frozen, he slows them down. Frostbitten, critical hits, inflicted Blizzard. The Blizzard inflicted by this unit increases Freeze duration by 3 seconds, so he's got Blizzard, he's got Freeze, he's got Slow, and then he also can extend Freeze duration, okay, so good for stall. Bambi's good for like burst damage, and then Zombie's good for having those two, having slow, having bleed, poison, and also an ability. Dead Boys Dancing Club. Summon 10 skeletons at the base to walk down the track. These skeletons have this unit's damage times stacks of the Dead Boys Dancing Club. So whatever amount of stacks you build up from the passive right here, Harmless LARP, whenever you inflict bleed and poison by attacking whenever allies attack and you get attacked. Okay. I'm going to use the Dead Boys Dancing Club ability. 350-second cooldown. Hopefully you guys are following along right now. I know I'm kind of... Like, this update's a lot to read, man, after this long grind. So I know I'm kind of going to butcher some stuff, but... anyways, that is Giselle. And for only a cost of 1.4 mil, not bad at all. Next up, we have Pri-Pri-Angel. Pushing Glorious once again. Placement cost of 200, very, very cheap. Definitely going to be a meta starter unit. We've got 3 different passives on him and 1 more upgrade 5, so 4 passives total, a lot to read here. Angelic Barrage, upon landing 20 consecutive non-critical attacks, so if he's not critting, inflict daze on all enemies in range and gain minus 60% SPA for 10 seconds, so he's going to reduce his SPA and inflict daze to all enemies in range. Angelic Embrace, he is going to attacks against stunned enemies deal 2 times damage, okay, so when he attacks something that's stunned, he's doing more. Every 10 attacks, he's going to stun the closest 5 enemies in range for 10 seconds, so he's going to stun them and deal more damage to the stunned enemies as well. Angelic Resonance, non-critical attacks deal 10 times damage. Okay, so he doesn't even need to crit. He has his own, like, form of damage buffing non-crits, and I have that on placement for 26 mil for 200, bro. I don't know. This guy looks like probably the #1 starter in the game. Maybe. Probably not better than Yuji, but could be. We get Angelic Burrow and Dark Angel Flash in upgrade 4. Angelic Burrow. Unit burrows to the selected location, forcibly initiating Angelic Barrage and Angelic Embrace. So, these 2 passives right here, forcefully activated when I TP him, presumably, yeah, right here, whenever I click on. Biblically Accurate, upgrade 5. We have a new passive. Upon landing 20 consecutive non-critical attacks, so if you don't crit on him, all of his units in range, all of the, like, copies of him in range, so if you have more people running him, I guess, I don't know, maybe you don't want to have glitch on him, I don't know. They enter locked-in mode for 100 seconds, and then while they're in the mode, their crit chance is set to 0, okay, so you don't want to crit on him at all. Attacks grant all Pri-Pri-Angel units a temporary 1% damage buff. Locked-in mode has a 60-second global cooldown, and can only be initiated once per cooldown. Okay. There's got like a self-buff type of thing. You maybe don't want to run glitch on him, you maybe don't want to run a crit tree on him as well. So pretty interesting build-wise, but he's also very, very cheap. Total cost of like 150k. 300k, because you double that. But okay. Looking pretty simple, pretty strong though. Definitely probably a very good starting unit, but he's very cheap, so he doesn't really scale high in high wave content. That was Pri-Pri-Angel. Next up, the Fire Force Girl, Angelist Deity. And we're gonna have a lot to read here, because she's got 3 passives off rip, 2 more for upgrade 10, 1 more for upgrade 6, and then an ability on upgrade 13. So on placement for 800, she is doing pretty good damage. Cone AoE, she has Despair, she has Electrified. Pretty solid, I think. Going through the upgrades though, not upgrades, sorry, going through the passives though. Collective Unconscious. Every second Despair is active on an enemy. You're going to gain a 2% damage buff for a minute. So, if you have like a permanent Despair unit like Sid maybe, I wonder if you can ramp up her damage pretty high, depending on how many enemies are in her range. First Pillar. Enemies are slowed by 1 to 70% and take 1 to 100% more damage from all sources, depending on how close they are. So, pretty good debuffer if they get close to her. If you put her by the spawn, for example, put her right at spawn, and they'll take 100% more damage. Second pillar. Sorry. Electrified applied by this unit deals 4 times damage. Okay, so a lot more than normal 1.2x scaling. Instances of electrified are continuously applied every 10 seconds. An enemy is inflicted with electrified from this unit. It is also inflicted with plasma, so buffing electrified by herself. Short circuit. Stun this unit for 1 second and deal 4 times damage to enemies in range. 2-second cooldown. So she's gonna stun herself and do a burst of damage. Okay. Going through the upgrades though. Pretty good damage so far for how cheap she is right now. Plummet on upgrade 6, we get the new passive 5th pillar and she becomes a circle AoE. 5th pillar is going to be a stun cleansing. Whenever she stuns herself, for example, from 2nd pillar right here, you're going to cleanse it and gain a 16% SPA reduction for a second. So good self buff there. She does also have a pretty high SPA stash, so she kind of needs that. Upgrade 10, we get 2 new passives, so we also become a full AoE, 11 SPA though. The 2 new passives are the 7th pillar and the 8th pillar. Okay, and to scroll down a little bit more. Every minute, she's going to cause an earthquake, dealing 2 times her damage, so a burst of damage, applying one of the following to all enemies every 2 seconds for 24 seconds. Walk back for 1 second, stun for 1 second, cripple, fear, weaken, expose, and rupture. So good temporary debuffing, periodically debuffing. 8th pillar. Allies in this unit's range are immune to stun. Anytime a stun is blocked, it deals 2 times damage to enemies in range. Okay, so she's going to be kind of a support unit, it looks like. We max her out, we get the Cataclysm ability, 12.6 bill over 11.1 for damage, and we don't really get information on how to unlock that. Okay, well, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know, man. I don't know how to unlock that, so I'm gonna be honest, bro. Look, I'm sorry. I don't want to be in the showcase for any longer than I need to. Look, this has been a long day, okay? I don't want to go into a new infinite and wait to get that ability. We're gonna have to just not know what her ability does. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I can dislike the video if you need to, if you're mad at this, but I don't know. I can't show it off. I don't know how to unlock it. I'm not gonna go on a wild goose chase after like 12 hours of farming the update, bro. But she's a good support, from what I can tell. I just don't know what her ability does, and I don't know how to get it. So, whatever. Next up, we have Boa, Snake Princess Warlord. And it is also kind of a Luffy buff at the same time, so we'll check out Luffy's damage number here, just to kind of show that off. Once again, sorry for not showing off the ability of the Fire Force girl, but I don't know how to find it, so I'm not going to be bothered to hunt it right now. But okay, Snake Princess Warlord. Placement cost of 450. She's going to be buffing Luffy by 200% for every upgrade, so if I upgrade her again, you should see that in action. Make another one? Okay, that works, yeah, so 2 upgrades on her, got her 400%. Okay, Captivating Beauty. Petrify applied by this unit deals 2 times damage. When Petrify applied by this unit ends, deal 50% of the strongest unit in range damage to the enemy. If the strongest unit is Zufi Sun God, deal 150% of their damage instead. So, she's going to apply Petrify on base, right here she has it. Deals 2 times damage, and then she also just kind of does like a follow-up thing for the strongest unit in her range after the Petrify goes away. Charming Combo. Every attack she's reducing her SPA, buffing her crit chance, crit damage, so kind of a crit unit. If we were to upgrade her more here. Kind of mostly concerned about like Luffy's damage. I don't really know if she's supposed to be a damage dealer herself, but Perfume Fever. Ability on upgrade 8. We get upon activation for 20 seconds. She's going to go into like a mode pretty much. Full AoE. Base range to 30, buff damage by 500%. And every attack enemies walk back for 1 second. Okay, so if we see that in action, max her out to 20.2 billion. Wow, actually good damage for a support. He's now full AoE, presumably has walk back, and check out Luffy, he's doing 13.8 billion damage. Okay, Tier 5 Luffy buff. In a kind of weird way, but pretty cool. Really good unit actually, I think. She's pretty cheap for how much she's doing. Finally, we have Maka and Yuta. Maka and Jxrk final. So Maki in placement for 5k. Kind of full AoE, but also kind of not, if I remember reading her passive properly. She's got a lot going on. Okay, I'm gonna try and recap. She can't be SPA buffed at all, okay? If she gets SPA buff, she turns it into damage buff, kind of like Garo back in the day, Cosmic Garo. Stuns and debuffs cannot be cleansed on her. For every 15% damage buff on her, she's going to buff Yuta as well. By 5% if spawned. Follow up every attack from Jxrk and 35% of this unit's damage. So she's going to follow up attack on Yuta attacking. If you spawn in Yuta, which is from this ability right here. Might as well do that right away. You can see Yuta down as well. But focusing on Maki first up, Vengeance of the Hay. For every enemy alive, she's going to gain a damage and range. damage per enemy hit by an attack. So every time she attacks, if she hits more enemies, she does more, apparently. Refreshing every attack. If enemy count is less than 5, she gains 500% damage and goes to a single target AoE. It deals a random bleed type dot every attack. So it could be like hemorrhage, mutilate, I don't know. If an enemy count is over 35, she's going to be full AoE and gain 300% range. And then first dual wielder is upgrade 2. Otherwise she has destroy everything. If there are no enemies in range for 20 seconds, she's going to TP to the closest enemy to the base. Upon teleporting, she's going to deal 30 times her damage to enemies in range and apply mutilate off that multiplier. And stun the strongest enemy in range for 20 seconds. So whenever you place her down, if she's not in range of anything, she's going to TP and do like a 30 times damage nuke and also apply mutilate and stun. Go to upgrade 2, we can see the cursed dual wielder passive. Every attack she's going to switch the effects between Dragon Sword and Soul Splitter. I'm going to go to Yuta for a little bit, okay? Copy. Units eaten will give this unit 30% of their damage, cap of 50 bill. Give this unit 50% of their range, cap of 350. Rika's going to eat stuff, and on top of eating stuff, right, so if I place it on a unit, like she's going to eat, her. I'm going to eat her. So Yuta gains Petrify and a little bit of a buff from eating Boa. But Rika also is going to have her own passive here, Overwhelming Negative Energy. Fear and despair inflicted by this unit are permanent. She has both of them on placement. Her range is pretty bad though, not gonna lie. Any enemy leaving this unit's range with fear and despair will be stunned for 20 seconds as well, so her low range actually kind of plays into that. They can easily leave her range and be stunned. Okay. Upgrade for 1 million though, she gains a lot of range, okay. And 2 billion damage. Pretty good for Jxrk summon. Yuta now. Well, let's finish up Maki first, okay? We already kind of went into Maki, so hold on. Sumo stance ability on upgrade 5. I don't know if I want to read all that. Okay, I will. She has like a mode, sets her to a cone AoE. Buffs from one of her passives are disabled, the one that alternates between 2 different attacks. You won't attack for 15 seconds. After 15 seconds, a button will appear on screen. We need to click it exactly 24 times in 6 seconds. Man, I suck at reading right now. Okay, sorry. But you click a button 24 times exactly. If you succeed, she does a 35 times damage nuke on her next attack. If you fail, she'll be stunned for 30 seconds. So, okay. I'm gonna click 24 times. I'm gonna try to. And she should do like a little mini nuke type of thing. 34 billion damage right now. Yeah, seems about right. And it goes away. Okay. Slam on upgrade 6. She has a new attack. And if you max her out, 30 billion every 3.47. Total cost of like, I don't even remember how much, but not that bad. Yuta maxes out for about 700k. We're going in. Really thin line AoE, thin icebreaker here on upgrade 4. Authentic Love ability on upgrade 6. We have all enemies in range cannot leave his range. Okay. If an enemy tries to leave his range, he's going to stun them until the duration of the ability is over. So it's like a domain that stuns them in his range, right? Traps them in his range. Unlimited swords. Open a menu. Depending on dots gained from copy, gain certain abilities. Okay, so we can see all of them. I don't have access to all of them, I think, because I don't have, you know, all the dots on him. We've got a bleed, dismantled, hemorrhage one. We have a mutilate and rupture one. A slow stun, time stop type of one. I don't know, this full menu, I don't want to read it all right now, guys, because I'm going to not do a good job reading right now. Okay, I'm too tired. But, I mean, pretty cool. You get a bunch of different abilities on them. Okay, I'm just going to choose one that I can't do. Upgrade 7, we get another ability, apparently. Big J's Ladder. Look, man, I can't really be bothered to unlock all these abilities right now, I'm sorry. Okay, but I'm guessing that's from using all these different swords, or at least some of them. And then once you do that, it's probably just a big nuke, okay? Hopefully, that's a good enough assumption to make. Hopefully I'm somewhat on the money with that. I don't know. Look, this update was not very awesome. Okay, this is a very long grind, very repetitive grind. I need to go to bed, guys. I'm sorry. I know the showcase is gonna be scuffed. I'm just ready to call it a day, man. Overall, though, these units are pretty cool. A lot of them are a lot to read, which I'm kind of happy for. If this update did not have me up so late, I guess. I don't know. Either way, though, are any of these units worth it? Not really, because World 3 is right around the corner. So I would, if I were you, just kind of skip this update. I'm not trying to be a hater, but ALS, man. This was not very fun, not worth my time. Anyways, though, let me know what you think about the units in the comments down below. Sorry about not showing off all the abilities. I don't know, man. I don't know. Either way, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next one. Have a great day.